It was rage at first, but then it went to just basically like, oh, now I have to deal with this.
They may not be on a bus route, they may not be able to get to work, that type of thing. So yeah, I mean, people depend on their cars. It's their lifeblood.
Some criminals just love to steal cars. The problem's existed since cars first hit the road. Last hour, in a joint investigation by our CBS News teams across the country, we showed you the scope of the problem nationwide. Now we drill down on the problem here locally. KDKA Investigates found in Pittsburgh, it's often a group effort to get the thieves under arrest. KDKA investigator Meghan Schiller found out there is a Pittsburgh Auto Squad, but when it comes to arrests, they don't make most of them.
Larry Sorelli can now look at his car and really appreciate it because he knows how it feels when it's gone.
Sinking feeling, and then the fact that I had to go and actually get everything all over again, like all of my ID and things like that. So that was a big stressful feeling.
He's one of nearly 400 Pittsburghers so far this year who've walked out to their cars and found nothing. Thieves got there first.
They were able to go into all the lockers at the gym and collect credit cards and keys.
He walked out of his Penn Hills gym to find an empty parking spot. That was in June. He just got his car back. Penn Hills police used stoplight cameras to find the teenagers who took it for a joyride.
Well, it was completely trashed inside. The smell was really bad. We had to get a lot of cleaning done to it, detailed. Also, there were paintballs all over the grounds.
Sorelli says the thieves trashed and stashed. He found stolen license plates under a seat, but because of their age, they went back home to their parents. It's a similar story inside city limits.
We have one female in particular that she stole 13 vehicles from the valets. She was 17 years old, and we had to keep releasing her to her parents, who were asking us to please do something with her.
Sergeant Tom Herbin leads the Pittsburgh Bureau of Police Auto Squad, a team dedicated to finding stolen cars. Last year, the squad made 37 arrests, and 20 of them were teenagers. So far this year, the squad's already arrested 13 teenagers, nearly half of the squad's total arrests for the year. Do you think it's gotten worse?
In certain aspects of it, it certainly has, mainly with the juvenile offenders. The recidivism, they're always, we catch them, release them, they come back and do another car.
Sergeant Herbin's team's also focused on finding the stolen cars, and he's proud of the numbers.
Last year was 812 cars that were stolen, cases that were stolen, and over 585 were recovered.
And out of the 365 new cases this year, they found 351. We also learned the Auto Squad relies heavily on Pittsburgh police officers outside the squad and police in surrounding municipalities when it comes to making arrests for these cases that happen in Pittsburgh. If you fold in that data, total arrests jump from the squad's 28 to 147. So far this year, they've made 147 arrests out of 365 stolen car reports. That's 40% of the cases ending with arrests. It's up to the district attorney next.
We clean them, it's up to them to fry them, I guess.
And these thefts aren't just happening to people like me and you. Police say thieves are hitting dealerships too. A
couple cases started here in Pittsburgh and wound up that we found that the cars were being shipped to Africa. And they're taken to New Jersey and put in containers and shipped out of the country.
Happening here in Pittsburgh from Pittsburgh dealerships?
From Pittsburgh dealerships. We've had 2 different dealerships where that's occurred, where they've fraudulently used fake licenses and money orders to put the down payment on the vehicle, and then the car disappears.
A lot of work for a small squad. Sergeant Herbin's just one of 4 detectives currently dedicated to working the beat full time.
Some people say, oh, it's just a property crime. Well, it's a pretty expensive property. I mean, the average vehicle, a new one, you're looking $20,000 and above, and a lot of them, $30,000, $40,000, and then when you get into the electric vehicles, then you're $60,000, $70,000, depending. So it's property crime, but it's pretty expensive property.
The Auto Squad started with 10 detectives back in 1996, but some of those officers did get pulled to work other beats. But unlike larger cities, a smaller city like ours that has so many police agencies butted up against it is definitely a benefit. It just means more eyes out there trying to find your stolen property. In the newsroom, Meghan Schiller, KDKA-TV News.